Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. He's got the passion, he's got the coin, he's put together a wide collection, but now he's looking beyond. It's our main man, 11.50 on the gram, writing me from Riyadh. We've got Saudi Arabia on the Optic channel, united by the love of telling time in a fancier way. His Instagram posts show a great appreciation for quality watchmaking from all brands. He's amassed a large collection, basically removing the filter and getting interesting models from all the brands that caught his fancy. And now that he's done all that, he's wondering if it's not time to dial it up a notch in quality versus quantity. Always a good question. If you had to start it all over again, or maybe just keep a couple and wipe the slate clean of the rest, what mega piece or mega pieces would you get for a perfect collection? Of course, we all know that once you've gotten that perfect collection, you'll get jittery pretty quick and will want to go in another direction or reach even higher. So my first instinct is to say here, make your life easy, ignore what other people recommend, just focus on the watches that suit you and keep you interested. I always feel so good when I put on my Explorer, for example. Simple watch, but just perfect, solid, and no trouble. All right, so this is the collection. It's quite amazing. So right now we have two boxes, 24 pieces plus two on the way. So let's see what Mr. 11.50. I'm gonna keep his name anonymous. I don't know if he wants it out. I don't see his name on his Instagram, so it's probably better when you have such a big collection to stay a bit under the radar. He's in his mid-30s. He's amassed what he calls a modest collection. And his core collection, so I'm guessing there's even more behind that, consists in 24 pieces. Let's go through them. Rolex Datejust 41 Wimbledon dial, Jubilee fluted bezel, same one as I have, great watch. Another Datejust 41 Black Diamond dial, if you love the band Kiss. Black Diamond, that's it, with the oyster and the fluted bezel. Number 3, Rolex Submariner with the ceramic bezel. So nice Rolex combo there. Then he moved on. He's got a Breguet Marine Big Date. Number 5, Longines Heritage Column Wheel Chronograph. 6, Longines Heritage 1918 Middle East limited edition of 185 pieces. Very cool there. I like the numerals. Number 7, Chopard Mille Miglia 2014 Race Edition. Then he's got the Tudor Black Bay 58 in blue. Now on the second row, on the left, we have the JLC Gégère Lecoultre Master Chronograph 25th anniversary with a sector dial, beautiful. Then the Reverso Tribute Small Seconds in red wine. The Master Ultra Thin Perpetual Calendar. That's a fantastic three-piece combo from JLC. Then we have a Habring 2 Irwin Scientific Dial. Habring, you know, it is that couple that does everything themselves. Very cool watches. And then 13, we have a Panerai Luminor Douai, the PAM 1046, and next to it, the Radiomir PAM 655. So I think if you get Radiomir, it justifies, it's okay, you can get the Douai, because the Douai, you know, it was a bit, some people didn't really like it, that it only had 100 meters of water resistance, but I think it's one of the most beautiful models they make. It's a bit thinner, a bit smaller, very nice. 15, the Heuer Carrera Chronograph, vintage from 1978, very cool. Then an Always Divers 65, a very good looking watch. It's the first watch that really got me interested into watches actually. Then going on the third row on the left, we have an AWC Portuguese chronograph, an AWC Pilot Top Gun double chronograph, and a Portofino automatic. Cool combo again. Then we have the Omega Speedy Moonwatch Hesalite, Mont Blanc, Heritage GMT with the salmon dial, very cool. Tissot Heritage 1948. The Nomos Club Automat. The Club is my favorite Nomos. I think it's the most affordable as well, but I really love the look of it. If I had to have one, it would be that one or the World Time that they have. And then finally, Certina DS Multi 8. I like that digital display. Reminds me of what you see on the stadium, on the track at the Olympic Games, behind the athletes. And coming soon, two more watches, because of course this is never enough. A Ming watch, yes, 1709 blue, and the Kurono from Tokyo, the Toki version. That's going to take a while. The Toki, I'm guessing, is the salmon dial that it just did. It's going to take 6 months to a year to get that one. All right, so what our friend 11.50 says, he's been seriously thinking over the past couple of weeks of selling the whole thing, with the exception of the sub, the Portuguese, and the GLC Chrono, for sentimental reasons. Well, those three, that would have been enough. That would have been a great 3-piece collection, and just be done. And starting fresh with a new upscale 5-piece collection, not including the 3 mentioned above. These would potentially include, so we would choose 1 or 2 from the below list. Patek Philippe 5205G or 5170G. One is the annual calendar with those sculpted lugs. The other one is the chronograph, no date, very simple. Lateral clutch, very beautiful. Manual wind, of course. Number 2, the AP Wireless chronograph 26331 ST. Number 3, a longer annual calendar, the Saxonia or the 1815. Number 4, the Vacheron historic triple calendar, triple calendar, 1942. It's a watch that more and more people are very interested in. I'm still not into it, but it's just on pictures. I haven't seen it in person. Maybe in person I would change my tune. And then number 5, Laurent Ferrier, and very high quality, independent, very expensive. Galet annual calendar or a micro rotor. He would like to hear my thoughts, my insights on this. Any recommendation that I would have. Wow. What do you say to this? I mean, what an amazing collection. I mean, true, it is a mid-range in terms of prices, mostly watches under $12,000, but all super quality. It's a bit if you're walking around and you see all the 80s here in Hong Kong, and you don't have any filter, as I said. You see something great, a great design, a good-looking watch, and you just pick it up. Now, I don't know what prices were paid for these watches, if they are all brand new from the 80s, or if there was a good discount, or if our friend here bought them on Chrono 24 at good prices, used sometimes. So it makes it a bit harder to tell how you would fare reducing this collection to only 3 pieces. I mean, you have 24 and 2 more on the way, so that's 26 watches, all of them great. You could make many perfect 3, 4, 5-piece collections within this selection. And to be honest, I like them all. And some of them, if you only watch, maybe someone would say, oh, you should get the Rolex or something else. But you have Rolex in the collection. You have JLC. You have different shapes, colors, functions. And they're all wonderful. I don't know how long it took you to amass all that. I can tell you that selling it all, if you just do it yourself, is going to be a lot of hassle, trouble, risk. But maybe it's something that you enjoy doing. But why would you do that? You've put all the work in getting all these great pieces, It would be crazy to have to sell all this. Maybe you can just pick a few that you really don't like, but I find them all very wearable. They they all look amazing together. I would keep them. I mean, like the Mont Blanc, for example, a salmon dial with a GMT. How cool is that? You wouldn't want to have a collection just of Mont Blanc, maybe, but when you have a collection this rich, then it's great to have that. Even the Tissot is well chosen with the old-fashioned logo on it. I like the Nomos that you picked. The Certina is very cool. That digital display on it. You've picked a nice Oris. Got one Omega. I mean, this wow. There's nothing to throw away in the collection, but yeah, of course you can sell everything and start again. It would be a massive amount of work, a lot of risk if you do it yourself, a lot of hassle, a lot of people sending questions and wanting to negotiate. And if you bring it all to a dealer, I mean, many of these brands, you're going to take a big hit. But again, I don't know what you paid. So that's the thing. We know. I think when you love watches, when you love collecting, especially, you love the hunt of it. And after that, sometimes you just wear the same all the time. You don't even wear the other ones, but you love to see them together. And then, so half your time you think about adding, and half your time you think about reducing. I have the same problem, and I think many guys do as well. But you know, when you see the collections on Hodinky, for example, people who have a lot of watches, and some of them come, some of them go, but people who keep a big collection, usually they don't wear them. They just enjoy having them, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a nice collection. That's the pleasure of collecting, is having all these things. So you said in the last 2 weeks only you've thought about reducing to just three and get a super watch. Maybe you should just relax a bit, enjoy your collection, just pick one watch here and there. One thing you don't get to do when you have such a big collection so easily is to get to know a watch properly. Pick one and wear it for a month. Learn all the quirks about the watch. See what you love about it. See if there's something you don't. Sometimes you dismiss a watch for a while, and then you start wearing it for 2-3 weeks in a row, and then it's love again. A lot of these watches here, maybe you've picked up. You saw them, you had to have them, and then maybe never wore them afterwards. But I'm telling you, they all look great together. Now of course there's ups and downs in the collection. Some stuff is not up to par with other stuff. I mean, you could say, do you need the Oris and the Tudor if you have a Submariner, for example? Of course, you can make your life easier. Just get the sub, or you can pit all the chronographs against each other and just pick the best one. But yeah, it's a very rich collection. Some of the watches here are not too valuable. Maybe it doesn't make any sense to sell them. Like, why would you sell the vintage Heuer? It's a very cool shape, very cool watch. It's your only vintage watch. Why would you sell the Reverso? It's one of the coolest colors they have. Or why would you sell the Jaeger Perpetual? Because it's in steel, and it's going to be a lot less trouble. It's a lot easier to set because it's coordinated calendar compared to anything else on the market. I would definitely not want to sell that. If you really feel like it's too much, sure, sell a few pieces that you don't like, don't wear, give them to a nephew or someone in your family. But what I would really do, rather than going to the extreme of selling everything, would be to just get one of those pieces that you're looking at. Now, which one to go for? Honestly, they're all amazing. I would go for a Patek. If you the 5205, it's a calendar. If you have a big rotation, it's a bit of a pain because you have to readjust everything with the pushers. So the 5170, it's quite a lot more expensive, but it's incredibly beautiful. So if you have the coin to purchase that, go ahead, and you will be at the pinnacle of quality chronographs. 2 registers, everything handmade, beautiful, high-grade chronograph. In comparison, the Royal Oak chronograph, I think it's using a Piguet movement, Of course, it's nice, it's royal oak, but I think you have better taste than that, to be honest, when I see your collection. But it's a nice watch, you know. If it's the 38 millimeter that I'm thinking of, I had it on the wrist, and I should have bought one because it was at a great price when it came out, and then the market went up. Nice way into a royal oak, I have to say. It's not too expensive. Then the longer, of course, super quality. The annual calendar, the 1815, has the push on the side, very practical. The Saxonia doesn't have it, so it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to reset, just like the 5205. The Vacheron, yeah, I prefer the Patek or the longer, to be honest. I think the residuals will be better on those ones, but of course I don't know which price you're gonna pay. If hopefully you don't buy that at full retail, there's no reason to. You should try to maybe buy it from a collector at a good price. And then the Laurent Ferrier, yeah, well, it's another very different kind of beast. It's an independent, great reviews on the watch box. You would get the kudos as a watch aficionado. I'm not sure what they cost. How the market is for those. You know, the sensible thing to do for me would be a Patek, Patek complication, annual calendar, or chronograph, or do consider for something a bit more practical, maybe the 5960. There's different versions. There's steel ones, and it's annual calendar. You don't have to reset the moon phase on it. You have a flyback chronograph, power reserve, loom. So there's the steel, there's the white gold, there's rose gold, there's a platinum. I think the platinum, you can even find it for less than what you would pay for the 5170s. It's automatic. I think it's a vertical clutch, so you don't really see so much of the movement, but it's a lot more practical kind of watch. To me, I would recommend you to look into a Patek Philippe 5960. It's very wearable, it's very usable, very beautiful, very original. It's the first time they did an in-house chronograph, and on top of it they put their classic annual calendar complication. I think that one would be a nice way, and then see how you feel about it. Then see after you get that if you still want to own a Tissot Heritage and Mont Blanc and Nomos, and how you feel about the IWC chronographs once you have a Patek flyback chronograph. Likewise, do you still want to have two Panerais? Maybe pick just one in the collection. The JLCs, I love all three of them. It's a beautiful mini collection. They're all classics. When you have a Patek, do you still want to have a JLC? I think there's room to keep the perpetual calendar because it's very usable. The Reverso is a top classic, and the sector dial is quite a nice one, you know, very, very nice. And it's going to be a collectible. They only made it for 1 year. I would keep that. Black Bay 58, you know, you need a watch to go to the beach. The Chopard, yeah, I think if you have a 5960, do you really need that? Not really. The Longines Middle East limited edition, very cool. Gotta have that, keep that. The chronograph, I don't think you're gonna need to keep that. The Breguet Marine, it's nice. Nice Breguet, why not have a Breguet? The sub, you gotta keep that. And both your Datejusts are really cool, but just pick the one you love the most. You gotta keep a Datejust because it's very usable, especially in a hot climate. It's a lot less finicky than the Patek, and obviously it's gonna withstand any weather condition much better. So yeah, nothing too drastic. There's a few pieces that you can move. Hopefully not lose any money on it. Hopefully you didn't pay too much for those. I would reduce probably by half. Get a very nice Patek complication. Rather than 5205 or the 5170, I would just get both in one. With the 5960, I think you would be happier. That's my advice. It's going to be nicer than the AP Royal chronograph. Yeah, has a bit more functions than the longers, although the longers are always quite practical watches, very solid as well. Vacheron, Laurent Ferrier, yeah, do that. Get the Patek 5960, See how you feel after, and wear it. Wear it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and then see how you feel about all the watches that we mentioned, and maybe reduce the stuff that's redundant, that's not up to par with it. But I think in your collection, many watches have a role, have a place. You don't need to sell a Datejust 41 and a Submariner. They have a place in any collection, or reverse, or and even the perpetual calendar of GLC, because of the qualities that I mentioned. The Black Bay 58 keeper for the beach, very, very cool. You say you want to keep your Portuguese, sure, keep that. I'm not going to go through it again. Keep one vintage with the Heuer. Maybe keep one Panerai unless you don't enjoy it. All right, guys. Wow, that was mega. Thank you so much, 11.50, for sending me a message, for sharing with us your amazing collection. Guys, subscribe to his Instagram, 11.50, to follow a bit. I'm really looking forward to see where this is gonna go. Quite an amazing collection, great taste, beautiful watches. There's so many ways this can go, but I think, yeah, you're at this point where you've gone through all the mid-tier brands, mid-tier prices, between $2,000 and $12,000. Get a very super cool Patek, see how you feel about it, and then reduce by half your collection. That's what I would do. Tell me in the comments, guys, if that's the same that you would suggest to our friend from Hong Kong to Riyadh. Bye bye, guys.